Welcome to Cruise1st Luxury Collections, and welcome to the Concierge Lounge, where you can take a seat, relax and let the world of luxury travel come to you. Cruise1st have been in the ocean travel business for over 25 years now and have built up an unrivaled reputation for matchmaking incredible holiday experiences for their guests who like to enjoy all of the finer things in life. Now, this show is dedicated to opening up the opportunities of luxury travel and tailored journeying, seeing the world in true style, knowing that our friendly and experienced team of travel consultants is there by your side every step of the way. We'll bring the journeys to life for you and call on leading experts to get you the very best recommendations. Coming up in this edition, we take you on tailored yacht feel ocean journeying with Explora Journeys, where the finest culinary experiences meet the ultimate in sophistication, inviting you to enter an ocean state of mind. Joining me is Jenny Wade from Explora Journeys to escort us through this blissful way to see the world. We'll be featuring journeys far and wide in this show, from the idyllic shores of the lesser seen islands in the Caribbean to the glorious lands of classical antiquity and botanical beauty. Cruise journalist Jane Archer joins me to share her insights on luxury ocean travel with Explora Journeys, and in this show we can take advantage of some extra value savings on our featured offers. More on that in just a moment, but first let's prepare you to enter that ocean state of mind as we introduce you to Explora Journeys.
Step into a world of refined elegance and boundless discovery with Explora Journeys. Crafted for discerning travelers, their boutique ships offer an intimate and luxurious escape, taking you to the world's most captivating destinations. With longer stays, overnight visits, and unique itineraries, Explora Journeys lets you experience each location's culture, charm, and beauty on a deeper level. On board, every detail is curated to perfection, from spacious oceanfront suites to exquisite culinary offerings inspired by global flavors. Explora Journeys redefines luxury at sea with personalized service, immersive enrichment programs, and a focus on wellness, ensuring your journey is as transformative as it is indulgent. So discover travel reimagined, where every voyage inspires, every destination enchants, and every moment stays with you forever.
And joining us from Explora Journeys is Jenny Wade. Jenny, great to see you.
Fabulous to be
Oh
here.
my word, I tell you what, you were the most gracious host when I was on board Explora Journeys. I had the time of my life, and I hope we can spend the next hour together really painting the picture for everyone at home, because it is a world that you should be part of, isn't it?
100% it's a world to be part of.
And ocean, when you say ocean state of mind, that's not just one of those marketing slogans, is it? Actually,
No.
It really is a complete way of life.
I mean, it's also a good marketing slogan.
It works.
But you are absolutely right. It is a way of life. It's that relaxation that you only get from being by the ocean. And, you know, we often say, don't we, oh, I need a beach holiday. But you don't want a beach holiday where you get sand everywhere. What you actually want is that calming effect that the waters have on you. And one of the things with Explora Journeys is we have so much outdoor space to be able to get that sense of calm and really, you know, experience your own ocean state of mind.
Let's take it right the way back to the beginning, because Explora Journeys still is relatively brand new and shining like a pin. So how did it come about?
So we're part of the MSC group, so we're not the luxury brand or the luxury sister brand to MSC Cruises, but we fit within the portfolio of brands that are owned by the Italian company MSC Cruises. So they have shipping and cargo, they have MSC Cruises, and now they have Explora Journeys. For me, the best thing about being part of that group is the foresight for planning. So they're able to allow our guests to experience ports that aren't going to be as busy because they know when other ships are going to be in, etc. And that's a real advantage to have.
And this really is the brainchild of the Aponte family that are behind the whole MSC dynasty.
Absolutely.
Which I think is amazing, because this is their holiday in their vision.
Exactly right.
Brought to life.
Yes, it is 100%, and it's that contemporary, Italian, cosmopolitan, European sense of luxury that you get throughout the ship, and it's beautiful. It's a great way of doing things.
And very much a yacht feel, because you never have that feeling of people, and I say that in the nicest sense, because when you're ocean cruising in general, people are a big part of that. And sometimes, actually, we like that little bit more space, little bit, let's be honest, fewer people.
Yes.
Would be very, very nice, because that kind of feels like it's a bit more of a special experience.
You're spot on there, and actually it's one of the things that the family were really mindful of when they were creating the vision for this brand, and something that they brought to fruition fantastically. It's about space and building ships. So Explora 1 and Explora 2 that are 63,900 gross tonnes could really is the operative word there, accommodate 2,500 guests, but only have 461 suites on board. So maximum capacity 922. It means an incredible amount of space. And Explora 3, who'll be joining the fleet in 2026, is 10,000 tonnes bigger, so 72,000 tonnes, but only has an additional 2 suites on board, so giving even more space.
Okay, well, I tell you what, let's stop talking about tonnes and let's start looking at an Explora journey, because I think actually you need to see on board, because actually the second you get on board, you get it straight away. So let's take one of the journeys. This is a grand journey actually of Tangier Sands and Carib Rainforest. It sounds absolutely delicious. I'm ready to book just from the description. It's 18 nights, this whole package, and it starts on the 11th of November, which just happens to be the day after my birthday. I'm going to drop as many hints as I can. We fly out to Barcelona to join Explora 2, and here she is. Absolutely extraordinary. Where do we begin? The good thing is we have a whole hour, which is amazing. We're going to need it. Let's talk about our suite and our welcome, first of all, on board, because it is a very warm welcome indeed.
It's a very warm welcome, a champagne welcome. So our house brand, our house pour on board is Mercier Champagne, which is actually part of the Moet Hennessy house. So guests are greeted with a welcome glass of champagne, and then introduced, of course, to their suite by their suite host, which we don't have butlers on board the ship. We have resident hosts for the residences, but in the suite, in the ocean terraces and the penthouses, they have the suite host. So they might facilitate, 4 or 5 different suites. So they offer a very good service, but they'll take you and tour you around your suite when you arrive.
And let's talk our way through one of our ocean terrace suites, because I say our, I feel like I have one waiting for me all the time. I feel, because it's a really lovely experience as well, isn't it? Let's say not home from home.
What do you mean when you say not home from home? Because I would describe it as it has home-like comforts.
It does, very much so, but it kind of has the best of everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything is there when you need it. Even the things that you didn't know you need are there. I mean, how many of us have the luxury of a heated bathroom floor?
Yeah, I would have liked that very much, or I would like that. One of the things that we also have, which I do have because I bought one the second I came back from Explora Journeys and realised I couldn't live without one, is a Dyson Supersonic hairdryer.
You were going to say that. and they don't come in, at $29.99 either, do they?
Absolutely.
There's one in every suite in a dedicated vanity area, right next to the bathroom, with its bathtub, with its marble furnishings, with its heated floor, with its bespoke amenities in the bathroom as well.
Yes, they are created by Explora Journeys, so Mandala Blue. It's a scent that's just wonderful, and people are always asking us, do you sell the shampoo and conditioner in the shop? The answer is actually no. You can now buy body lotion because people loved it that much they wanted to take that memory home with them, and the reed diffusers, so they get the smell of Explora Journeys when they're at home. Walk-in wardrobe space as well, which I think is just fabulous. And one of the things that you touched on there, Derek, was the bathtub. We do have a number of suites with bathtubs, but they don't all have them. So it's about choosing what's right for you when you're travelling. Do you want a bathtub, or would you prefer to have a shower? Because people have preferences, of course. King beds, huge king beds, beautiful Egyptian cotton, like the finest Egyptian cotton. Oh, it's such a shame the ships are so beautiful and the destinations are so nice, because you could just spend all day in bed looking out at the big panoramic windows out onto the terrace.
Funnily enough, I was on board for just a few nights, 4 nights it was, 4 memorable nights that they'll live with me forever. And I actually had a night off. and decided, right, that's it, in-suite dining, let's see what this is all about. And it was just a pure pleasure.
A pamper evening.
Yes, it was wonderful. And I didn't feel like, like I shouldn't be doing this, or, I was being unsociable or anything like that. It was just a pure pleasure, actually. It was part of the experience.
That was your ocean state of mind. It's funny how it embeds in different people very differently.
Yes.
For me, I took a book out onto the terrace because all of our suites have a terrace.
Yes.
And we say terrace as opposed to balcony because they're deeper. They have the daybed out on them. They have the table and chairs. I took my book out onto the terrace and I was there for about 10 minutes, and then I realised I hadn't even opened the book, and I just sat there and just listened to the ocean and looked out at the seascape, and that was my ocean state of mind moment.
Well, I did an afternoon of work with my laptop there, and actually it didn't feel like work at all. It felt like a pure pleasure. Anyway, listen, let's take this journey then, shall we? We're in Barcelona. We've just had a look around Explora 2. And remember, we have just scratched the surface of what's on board, so stay with us because we'll focus in on different areas of the Explora experience as we go through each one. So we're taking a 70-night grand journey. My word, that is a grand journey as well, isn't it? So our first day at sea, and we are heading across from Barcelona to Morocco. Now, we are talking about destination experiences, which are traditionally, we know, in the cruise world as shore excursions, and we'll talk to you about those as we go through. So in Tangier, there are coastal towns to explore and lots more. A day at sea, and we're in the Canary Islands into Gran Canaria, wander through the historic quarter of Vegeta here with the cobblestone streets and the colonial architecture. It's absolutely beautiful, and the wonderful cathedral there as well. Then we cruise across the Atlantic, and here we are in Bridgetown, Barbados. Oh my word, here we can observe the green monkeys and other wildlife in their natural habitat at the Barbados Wildlife Reserve. I would just long to do that. Next, we're in Ponte Pitre in Guadeloupe. And there's a wonderful botanical garden here with a very grand name, where you can enjoy the wonderful garden full of kaleidoscopic birds and plants, again, which sounds lovely. St. John's in Antigua, where you can swim with the stingrays, again in their natural habitat as well, an unforgettable encounter. And you can have a coconut tree shower and rum drinks. Oh, that sounds all right, doesn't it? Very nice indeed. Next, we're off to Charlotte Amalie on St. Thomas, where you've got the Sky Row gondola, which you're looking at there, which is 700 feet up. But what a view that will be, giving you sweeping views across St. Thomas itself. A couple of days at sea, and then we will come into Miami. I think actually, you say the Caribbean, and the Caribbean has to be at the right pace, really, doesn't it? It needs to be done.
Slow pace. Yes,
it absolutely does. And actually, if you get to a Caribbean island, then the temptation I know will be, this is it, I'm staying on board. I'm just enjoying the view has changed around me, but I am in heaven already.
Yes, very much so. However, the journey that you were just talking about actually includes quite a lot of sea days,
yes,
which is nice because it gives the opportunity to experience the ship fully. And it's something Explorer journeys do. We build in a sea day into almost every journey, so there is time to enjoy the ship almost guilt-free, so you don't feel like you should be off the ship exploring the destination, but you have time to enjoy being on board. And
you have the most incredible guest luminary speakers who it's not just about watching presentations either, that's about interacting with those guest speakers. They become part of the family, don't they? You'll see them in the evening. I mean, it's a very convivial atmosphere on board, isn't it?
Very much so, and it's why we call them luminaries as opposed to guest speakers, because a guest speaker is often a lecturer, and we want somebody who's interactive with the guests, who really brings the experience alive and isn't just a talk for an hour that you then never see that lecturer or guest speaker again. And again, something that we have received immense positive feedback from is our luminary programme on board. Oh,
it is exceptional, absolutely exceptional. Now, on this offer, if you are interested, and who wouldn't be, because actually those guilt-free sea days are pure heaven. I mean, absolute pure heaven. Just enjoy the best of everything, of course. All of your drinks are included while you're on board. You've got Wi-Fi to enjoy while you're on board. But actually, you don't have to enjoy that. You can just leave that to one side, put all the gadgets, put all the cares and worries away in the safe and leave them there. What I can offer you here, obviously, is an incredible price tag, but we have some extra value savings for you as well, because if you book this before the 28th of February, you will also receive up to €1,000 of prepaid destination experiences credit. Now, to you and I, in everyday language, that's shore excursion credit. So when you're going to these wonderful destinations through your Explora journey, you can actually be looking at an array of different destination experiences,
Absolutely.
Jenny, as well.
So ranging from things that are activity based, so for people who want something really high energy, to cultural, art, history. I did a fantastic wine tasting destination experience, not on this journey, it was actually in Sonoma, but we have a real variety to suit a completely different taste for people.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing to do. Another really very, very simple way of being able to reserve your journey today as well is an extra low deposit opportunity as well. So just 10% of the price. And again, that will be for a limited time as well. So if you want to reserve something that is extra special, very, very special, I've experienced it myself, you're seeing in words and pictures where we're going to and life on board as well. We've only just really shown you a very small amount of that so far. It is just a dream. Let's have a look at an overview of the offer as it is. Return flights, of course, included to and from the UK. 17 nights on board Explora 2. I mean, my eyes just light up at that prospect. And there are fewer longer itineraries, it is fair to say, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's an extra special opportunity. Up to €1,000 of destination experiences credits right now for a limited time as well, plus low deposits. As little as 10%, and we will touch again upon the inclusions that you can take for granted as part of an Explora journey as well. So we will go through all of that in just a moment. But of course, speak to our dedicated team right now. Speak to one of our travel concierge team on 0800 953 4701. Let's start the conversation today. We have an incredibly close relationship with Explora Journeys. We work very much hand in hand together. So our team also have the knowledge and the expertise of the Explora Journeys experience. So if you fancy entering that ocean state of mind, which is not just words, believe me, call us now, 0800 953 4701. Oh my word, you are going to love, love, love this experience. So let's take you straight to another, because then we can get back on board, back into that ocean state of mind. I'm missing it already. A journey now to scintillating Sardinia and surrealist sunsets. And thank you so much, whoever in Explora Journeys came up with the name of that itinerary. I love you very much. 23rd of June, this package, a lovely week away, and we're flying over to Rome from the UK to join Explora 2. And the Explorer ships are going to come one after another, and they are, what we're looking at on one will be pretty much across the fleet with minor tweaks and changes here and there.
Yes, pretty much. I already mentioned that Explorer 3 was going to be slightly larger, so that's where we'll see the majority of changes, but 1 and 2 identical. Absolutely.
And beauty. Where do we go next? The spaces on board. I mean, the sheer size you were talking about the potential number of passengers on board versus the actual,
yes,
which is great. And that may lead people to think that actually are these small spaces, but actually no, they're vast and expansive, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, and I mean, you've experienced it, Derek, and you know, if you feel differently, then do say. But for me, I think we've really found a fabulous balance between homely but luxurious, and the way the spaces are designed make them feel welcoming. They never feel empty, but you feel like you have enough space to be able to unwind and to enjoy that particular venue. So that all goes down to space leading to choice. So it's things like the fact that on Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 we have 11 different bars and lounges on board. We have 6 different restaurants, 5 included in the journey fare. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have the space on board. So it's space lending to choice, and the atmosphere on board the ship is just phenomenal and fabulous.
Gosh, it really is. I mean, every time you go into one of the dining experiences, I mean, every one of them feels unique, but not elitist, and not at all uncomfortable, not at all. I don't know what I'm kind of getting at in a way, but there are some restaurants that you go to that you think, actually, is this right for me? Do I belong here? And on every single one of the dining experiences on board, you think, actually, I love this.
Yeah, it's not pretentious.
Yes.
It's not ostentatious. It's relaxed, but with an element of luxury in there as well.
Oh my word! I mean the food.
And the food is sensational.
Oh my crikey! And we'll talk about the selection of dining experiences as well. But the look and feel on board is, for me, exceptional. We were looking at the lobby bar recently, and that is so impressive.
It's quite iconic now, isn't it?
It's
iconic
a wonderful
journeys.
space. Yes, it is. It's lovely.
With the big Steinway piano at the top.
Yeah, which is just so special. Those nice little touches, those things that, you know, the video or the brochure doesn't tell you, I think they are lovely, because actually, as beautiful as these words and pictures are here, it doesn't show you everything, which I think is good, actually, in a way, because you want to be wowed when you arrive, you want to be impressed, and you want to know that, because actually there are people who are well-travelled, who have tried other more inclusive cruising experiences, and actually this does offer something which is distinct and different. And I have to say, its whole tone, for me, just felt completely and utterly different.
Absolutely. And where you were saying then about inclusive, I mean, we're very, very inclusive, but what we don't include are things like destination experiences, because we want the guests to choose what destination experiences they want to do, not give them a set choice, and they might not get their first choice and end up going on their fifth choice, which they wouldn't necessarily have wanted to go on in the first place, and everybody gets off the ship with a number of other people. Instead, what we offer is something that's perfect for them, that makes the experience memorable, that really enhances that destination for them, and they can do in a small group as well.
Well, let's take this first taste then, because remember, we're in Rome. We're on board Explora 2, should I say. Let's take our 7-night journey then. We're off first to Sorrento. Absolutely beautiful part of Italy, incredible. You can take an Amalfi Coast drive here and enjoy the wonderful views, stopping at wonderful, charming villages, or you can take a boat trip over to Capri Island as well and visit the Blue Grotto. Messina in Sicily, oh my word. There is gorgeous Mount Etna. You can take an all-day adventure that takes you there and also takes you to the fairy tale town of Taormina as well, and you have to see it. It's just a unique place. A day at sea, and we're in Cagliari in Sardinia, and you can head to the Villa Massager here for some wine tasting, which sounds very, very nice indeed, in the Cantina Aru vineyard, and you can enjoy the local wines here. Alghero, again in Sardinia here. You can dive into the coral coast around the Capocchia here and discover the underwater worlds teeming with graceful rays, and underwater worlds which have the skeletons of ancient wrecks as well. Mahon on Menorca. We rarely see this on any destinations itineraries, and you can sail the coastline here on a tour, take in the marine reserve. There's a wonderful lighthouse here. I mean, just that picture there just looks dreamy, doesn't it? Take me there, I am ready tomorrow. Actually, I think as a first taste of the ocean state of mind, I think this would be perfect, Jenny.
Absolutely, 7-night journey. And where you mentioned about Mahon in there as well on Menorca, that's kind of testament to what I was saying earlier in the show about visiting, about the MSC group side of things and the port planning, and visiting places that perhaps not everybody goes to, but that people know and want to travel to, as well as some other, so off the beaten track, and some well-known destinations as well. And
of course you're getting straight there as well, because you're literally walking straight off the ship. You're not in a long line, or if it's a tender port, you're straight onto that tender with a small group of people, and you're there, and you're spending longer there as well, which I like.
Yes, and we often offer a number of overnights as well on our journeys as well. So if guests are looking particularly for that, then we do have overnight stays that allow them to experience the destination by night as well as by day.
Which is a wonderful thing to do, actually, because all destinations change completely from one part of the day to another as well. And you have that real feeling of being off the clock. I mean, if you are a wearer of a watch still, even these days, with all the gadgets and things, with Explora Journeys, that will be going in the safe with all of the news and everything else. And then you can completely and utterly dive into the experience as well. Well, you can see what an amazing opportunity this is. This could well be your first taste of Explora Journeys as well. It is massively growing in popularity and indeed award winning, and we'll talk about the awards that have been bestowed upon Explora Journeys, which for a very, very new offering out there on the ocean waves is incredible. Now, we are looking at a low deposit here as well. For a limited time right now, you can book for a deposit of just 10% of your price tag, which again is amazing for budgeting. And if you book this before the 28th of February, you'll also receive prepaid destination experiences credit of up to €1,000 per suite, which is incredible. So where we were talking about those lovely journeys and those lovely experiences that you can have along the way, and of course you have the choice of whether you take a destination experience or whether you just wander yourself, but to have some prepaid destination experience credit there is only ever a good thing, isn't it? So let's have a look at the overview of this offer then and what's included. So we've included, of course, your return flights to and from the UK, 7 nights on board Explora 2, which is never going to be enough, but a great first taste. It's almost like you open that grand box of chocolates. This is the first corner we're looking at here. You will be back for the rest. Up to €1,000 of destination experiences credits prepaid for you per suite. Your beverages all of the way through your Explora journey, your ship onboard gratuities, Wi-Fi, which is just incredible. Literally, if you were thinking, actually, well, I need to work while I'm on holiday, you can work from your Wi-Fi, do all your video calling and everything else from the amazing Wi-Fi on board. There is port shuttles where they're needed as well, and they're provided by Explora Journeys, and so much more. And the opportunity now to book this with a deposit of just 10% as well. Please do talk to our dedicated team right now on 0800 953 4701. And any questions you have along the way as well. Jenny and I will do as much as we can to open the window and show you the daylight of the wonder that is Explora Journeys. But if there's any questions that you have whatsoever, please do talk to our team. We have direct lines straight through to Explora Journeys as well. Work very, very closely with their leadership team as well, because we're very much on the same journey together, aren't we? We've kind of, it's been wonderful actually to see the whole genesis of the Explora journey just for them. It's amazing.
When you came on board, Derek, the ship had only been launched for,
yes,
it wasn't even a month old, I don't think. It was August time in 2023, which seems like an eternity
it was
already.
Too long. I'm ready for the next one, I've told you.
But when you're talking about the journey, well, yes. When you're talking about the journey, now, of course, last year we launched Explora 2.
Yes.
This year, no new ships, but Explora 3 coming in 2026, and then she'll be followed by 4, 5 and 6. And then, of course, I'm very sure it will go on from there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Should we take another one? Let's take another journey. Let's go to the Caribbean right now, because if you're thinking, okay, first taste, I maybe need a little longer than 7 nights. How about this one? It's a 12-night package altogether. A journey of endless sophistication and Caribbean island charm. I'm there just from the names, to be honest with you. 25th of January next year, we'll fly you first from the UK out to Miami. And we have a 3-night hotel stay lined up for you in Miami, which is incredible. What a wonderful, wonderful city. I've only seen it recently for the first time. A vast city, but I mean, amazing charm. You must have been to Miami.
Of course I've been to Miami. I've stayed there a few times.
What was your highlight?
My highlight was actually South Beach and cycling along the front of it, and basically just taking everything in and all the people. But then you've got the Art Deco area. There's so much to see in Miami.
It's superb, isn't it? And here we are. Back on board Explora 1, as I was in the summer of 2023, completely and utterly intoxicated. In a state of mind sense, of course.
Well, it could have been in any sense.
It could have been in any sense.
Because, of course, beverages are included throughout.
They are. I will always say responsibly, one at a time, of course, but this endless choice. And that's wonderful, actually, because that's one of those things that again, the whole ocean state of mind is about really only having your own things to think about, really.
For sure.
No effort, no stress.
Yeah,
That's what this is all about.
You talked about the welcome on board and that embarkation process, and actually being shown into the suite and just seeing that for the first time, and you know the whole area being so expansive. You know, the entry level suites are 35 square meters. I always get feet and meters mixed up. It's probably not the time to admit that.
But they are suitably spacious.
Very spacious, and of course that terrace as well.
Part of the welcome as well, and part of the whole Explora journeys, and part of the whole ocean state of mind for me, what I really took away from it was your hosts on board. They're not crew, they're not, you know, he's a waiter, she's a barman. You know, it's not,
No.
It's not that. It's a team of people who love what they're doing, have been recruited from some eye-watering establishments around the world. Some of them on the ocean waves for the first time.
Yeah.
But the time to speak to them and interact with them without saying, well, I won't keep you waiting because I know you've got a queue.
Yeah. And there's always a smile round every corner as well, which is so nice. And you know, you very rarely wake up miserable on a day on board Explora Journeys, but if you did, then there'd be a smile to greet you that would change that around for you in second, and nothing seems like too much trouble.
No, absolutely. It's very, very intuitive service. It's not in your face. It's not forcing itself upon you, but it is there for whatever you need.
Absolutely. And you picked up on it, Derek, when you said they come from different areas of the hospitality industry, and we train them at a Swiss hospitality school that's often awarded the accolade for best hospitality school in the world. So they're very well trained, and actually one of the things that is often fed back to us is how wonderful our hosts on board are.
Yeah. Incredible, because you know they're having a good time as well. I mean, they're getting to travel the world as well.
Yeah,
let's be fair.
Exactly.
You know, and that's no. You know, that's no hardship, is it, when you are in this kind of surroundings? You mentioned accolades, which leads me nicely on to award-winning Explora Journeys in such a short time as well. And it's not just one award we're talking here, is it?
No, we're talking numerous awards for Best Ultra Luxury Cruise company. Last year we won a number of those, and when you think really we've only been in operation for 18 months now, it's fantastic to have those awards coming in and to be a part of that. You know, when I joined Explora Journeys, we were a vision, we had no ship, and now we have the two operating and operating very well, and lots of repeat guests travelling with us as well, which is actually for me the biggest accolade of all.
Yes, I think so, because you have to love something, because of course it is a premium product. You are investing more in that, but boy, are you getting it back tenfold.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course a culinary experience as well, which I'm sure we'll come on and talk about the different venues, but that's something we're being awarded for as well, which is super.
It's no surprise to me whatsoever. Let's take this journey then. Remember, we are heading out to the Caribbean. We start in Miami. We've just had our 3 nights in a hotel, and now things really ramp up or slow down. Or both, actually, on your 8-night Explora journey. We take the first couple of days at sea, and we are in Charlotte Amalie in St. Thomas. Oh my word, just look at that picture. Wow, I could just look at that all day long. That looks absolutely incredible, doesn't it? Do I need to tell you about the things you can do there? You can do an awful lot of things there, but you can just enjoy the view if you like, and just enjoy its charm. It looks amazing. Next, we move on to Bridgetown in Barbados after a day at sea, and you'll treasure every one of those days at sea, let me tell you. Bridgetown, beautiful. Harrison's Cave, guided tours you can take there. And lots of things to visit there as well. Martinique is next. Oh my word, look at the colour and the vibrancy there. You can take nature adventures here and venture into the untamed countryside of Martinique. Cascading waterfalls and lush rainforests. I want to go shopping there though, don't you? Next we head to St. Kitts and Nevis. We're in Bazatir here. There's a scenic railway here. Have you been there?
I have been there. I didn't do the scenic railway. I did zip lining, which was fantastic. So it was one of the high energy activities. And it was high energy.
Long zip line.
Long zip line, lots of different zip lines, but varying lengths, but starting very long and then moving down to shorter and shorter ones.
Ooh.
Slightly terrifying in times, just because I don't actually like heights. So you would think that naturally you would avoid that destination
how did you end up doing that then?
Well, I was kind of coerced into it by someone I was travelling with, but I had a wonderful time.
Okay.
It was fabulous, and to see the rainforest and the canopy, etc., it was fabulous.
Well, listen, we only live once, don't we? It's there to be done. You end this journey in San Juan in Puerto Rico, and that is where we fly you back to the UK. You'll be in tears on the flight back, but you could always stay for a couple of nights as well. We could always have a couple of nights in a hotel there just to soften the blow a little bit for you. You have the opportunity right now as well to book this with a low deposit, so just 10% of the total price there. And also, if you book this before the 28th of February, and here's a nice little incentive, here's a nice little kind of, yeah, actually, I will treat myself to this, actually, because we have up to €1,000 of prepaid destination experiences credit for you per suite if you reserve this right now, and you can reserve it with just a 10% price tag deposit. And remember, this is pretty much the best part of a year away as well, so you've got all that anticipation time. You might well sneak in a cheeky one before that. I think you probably will. I don't think you can go a whole year without holidays, can you? It needs to be done, doesn't it? So here is what's included in the offer then. You can call our dedicated team right now, remember. Our concierge team is waiting to talk to you on 0800 953 4701 if you have any questions whatsoever. And again, always with a show here, I'm always thinking from your point of view at home, okay, what would I like to know? What else do I need to know? So we'll touch upon inclusions and the fabulous dining in just a couple of moments, actually, on board Explora Journeys, because dining is important to everyone. And oh my word, you have seen nothing until you've seen the culinary experiences on board Explora Journeys. So you've got your 8-night Explora journey, of course. Remember, reserving right now for a limited time, just a 10% deposit and up to €1,000 of destination experiences credit being included for you. So do think about it, and if you have any questions whatsoever, let's start the conversation today, sooner rather than later, on 0800 953 4701. And joining me now is someone who has experienced the ocean state of mind with Explora Journeys. It's leading UK cruise journalist Jane Archer. So Jane, where do we begin? Talk about the biggest cuddle you could ever wish for in a cruise. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Oh, do you know what? I loved Explora Journeys. I really didn't know what to expect because it is a new brand. And my goodness, talk about hit the road running.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I loved everything about that cruise line. I loved the ships, I loved the restaurants, I loved the suites. Oh,
just the whole feel of it as well, actually. I mean, to try and be distinctive in what is quite a well-served market, the ultra luxury cruising market. Yeah. I mean, the Aponte family really have come up trumps here, haven't they? I mean, a Steinway that plays itself, for instance.
It's little things like that. Yeah. And in terms of the decor, my take on the decor was actually very much they haven't overdone it, which makes it really, really stand out and makes it very special. You notice the decor more because there's not lots of it. You know, artworks, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you just, oh wow, that looks great, that looks terrific. But to come in and to be able to do that in what is a very well-established market, that is really, really something very, very clever.
And everything about it, almost, you know, you could pick any aspect of Explora Journeys and it's almost like they gave it an extra buff and did something different with it. I mean, let's talk dining, for instance, because it really is extraordinary occasion dining, but without that ultra formality, still very, very convivial, very friendly, very sociable, without being kind of elitist.
That's what I really liked about it, I must admit. It was, you know, there is no elitism at all, actually. There's no pressure, there was no dress codes, there was nobody telling me you need to be here at that time and you need to be there at that time. And the restaurants were terrific. I mean, everyone that I went into, they were really good. The food was so good. And I have to say, the staff were excellent, absolutely excellent. I just can't fault them. They remembered you. They saw you one day, And the next day they knew exactly what you'd had to drink, and they were there saying, may I get you your champagne, because actually, yes, champagne is included in the price. Woo! And that was something really special as well.
As are the majority of the drinks behind the bar as well, which is really, really lovely. It is, again, it's one of those things that I loved the pace of the service as well. You know, sometimes when you go to a restaurant, things can come a little bit too quickly, one after another.
Yeah.
I love the pace and the rhythm of things like dining. It wasn't a rushed affair. It wasn't a slow affair. You weren't looking at your watch thinking, where is this dessert? You're not. Everything just felt very intuitive.
It did. It all went together very well, I felt. And as I say, I think that is fantastic, because when you come in new, you know, a new brand, a new ship, everything new, to be able to do that it is very, very spectacular.
And we have to dive into the Ocean Terrace suites as well, because again, they found very, very distinctive differences and kind of shone a light on those.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were designing it, that's exactly how you would do it, right?
Well, if I could design things, absolutely, that is exactly what I would do. Do you know what I really loved? And it's really stupid things, isn't it? But the heated floor in the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh, isn't that
Again,
so luxurious?
Something you would never expect.
So wonderful to have something like that.
And even the extra vanity area. You know, I don't have long, beautiful golden hair to curl, but to have that separate vanity area and one of those Dyson supersonic, whatever, one of those 600 pounds hair dryers there as well.
Say, yes, yeah.
That's a difference, isn't it?
Oh, yes, and they have the staff to look after you as well in those as well. And again, they were fantastic. The guy who looked after my cabin, he was just lovely, absolutely wonderful, and he couldn't do enough. You know, he was there all the time. Is there anything I can get you? Is there anything I can do for you? And I know I was bowled out. I was just bowled over by it. I thought it was wonderful.
Let's touch on the evenings as well, because actually they do their entertainment offering in a slightly different way, in so much as it feels like everybody's involved, like literally everyone can reach out and the performers are there within your reach as well.
Yeah, I thought the entertainment actually was very good. It's not huge Broadway shows by any means, but we had singers and we had a guy who was doing some very interesting talks. It just gave it a different level, if you like, and yes, as you like you say, you kind of felt part of it. It really worked for me. The whole layout of it and everything really worked for me.
You'll be back for more then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought so. I did as well. My thanks, Jane, as always. We have a very close relationship with Explora Journeys since they launched only recently, so our team can help you dive into the ocean state of mind whenever you're ready for that something special.
With 25 years of travel expertise, when booking with Cruise1st, you can be sure that you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We work with all the major cruise lines to bring you the most comprehensive selection of exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. As a fully bonded member of APTA and ATOL Protected, you have the peace of mind that your booking is always safe with us. We make it easy to budget for your dream holiday. With many of our deals, just pay a deposit today and you then have until your due date to pay the balance. Plus, we're one of the highest rated cruise agents on Trustpilot, with over 7,000 independent reviews. This all means that you can be fully confident when booking your next exciting adventure with Cruise1st.
Absolutely. And Jenny, I know you were beaming from ear to ear there to hear Jane heaping praise upon Explora, because, you know, Jane obviously has seen the entirety of the cruise market, and so that's a good broad set of eyes as well, isn't it?
Exactly right. And I mentioned before, it's wonderful to win awards, but it's even better to hear it from people that have experienced it, what a wonderful time they've had on board.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get another one in the diary then, shall we? This is a journey through classic antiquity and botanical beauty. Again, thanks to the team for that lovely title. It sounds very inviting, it really does. 29th of August, we fly this time over to Athens, and we're boarding Explora 1 this time for your your 7-night Explora journey. Oh my word, you lucky people. Honestly, from the second you get on board, you will have the most exceptional time. Let's talk about pampering as well, because it's a very, very important thing. It's something that we don't do enough at home, and it's something that on Explora journeys, it kind of feels like you're already half ready.
Yeah.
So what's on offer?
Well, I actually think there's two aspects to this, because it's all about well-being. So health and well-being go quite nicely together.
They do.
And we have that beautiful spa, which again is also now award-winning as well. So you have all the different treatment rooms. Spas, the treatments are an extra expense, but the use of the spa is not. But you have the spa suite, which of course has the hydrotherapy pools. It has the whirlpools, the salt cave, the steam rooms. You know, a chance to really relax and unwind. Hot stone, marble beds. Sounds good, doesn't it?
It's got to be done, isn't it?
But also we have all the fitness facilities as well, which actually for me is a huge part. You know, you want to eat well, you want to relax and wind with a drink, but also I never have time to work out at home. Well, I do, but I make time for it, and I'd like more. And actually on board the ship, we've got these beautiful fitness suites where we have group programs, classes included, and we have yoga and Pilates, so a real holistical approach to it as well. Then you've got the pickleball courts, you've got the running track, which I actually run on, and it's only 250 metres, but it's sprung and it goes quite quickly, and it's really nice. Like, I was on it when we were sailing into Montenegro, and it was just surrounded by all this mountainous, beautiful scenery, and it was something quite spectacular.
It's just a dream, isn't it? Sounds like an absolute dream. Let us take then this Explora journey out of Athens, and our first port of call is Samos, and Samos sounds amazing, doesn't it? You can go Muscat wine tasting here as well, which sounds very, very nice indeed. You can learn about the wine making process as well, if you like.
Sounds like my type of destination experience.
The tasting would be more my thing, maybe. A day at sea, we're in Katakolon, the birthplace of the Olympic Games, of course. You can visit here, the Archaeological Museum of Olympia. There's Kura Beach as well, if you fancy just relaxing on the golden sands. Next, we head to Fiscardo, which I must admit I'd never heard of before. It's in Kefalonia. Lots to enjoy here. Venetian architecture, the pebble coves, the boutiques as well, bijou boutiques, so much for you to enjoy there, or snorkeling and diving. It's quite a thing here as well. Bari is next in Italy. You can see the Cathedral of San Sabino here with its wonderful frescoes and its Romanesque architecture. There's the nearby Trani, which has a Romanesque basilica as well, which is very, very nice to see. Zadar is next in Croatia, and you can go hiking here in the Paklenica National Park here. Enjoy the awesome canyons and the views from the Velebit Mountains, which again sound absolutely amazing and look pretty amazing as well, let me tell you. So there is your overview of where we are travelling to and from there. We're finishing this in Fusina, which is nearby to Venice, and that's where we'll fly you back to the UK from your price on screen here. Remember, for a limited time, we are looking at low deposit opportunities here as well, just 10% of the price as a deposit to get that in the diary right now, and book it before the 28th of February, and you'll also receive prepaid destination experiences credit of up to €1,000 per suite. So that's an extra reason if you've been looking around and thinking, actually, I am looking for that next elevated experience, and actually, let's try something different this time. And this is one of the very newest players in this market, and it's a well-established market, I'm sure, as you know as well. Maybe you've been on some of those other ultra luxury experiences. You have to try this, because Ocean State of Mind, honestly, it's so nice, it's so relaxing, it's what you deserve to enjoy as well. It's incredible. Let's have a look at what's included then in this offer. Return flights, of course, from the UK. We've got our 7-night Explora journey in your oceanfront suite, of course, which is so well appointed, so beautifully decorated as well. Jane mentioned some of the artwork before, the art that's around your suite as well.
Absolutely.
It's so charming.
It's attention to detail, isn't
So
it?
charming, and just as Jane said before, not too much, not overdone, just beautifully tasteful, just the way that you would want it. You know, sometimes you can over-decorate your own house.
Absolutely.
And,
and I think one of the key points here again is just to revert back to that space comment. So where we're talking about leading fares and entry-level suites, that entry-level suite, it is 35 square metres, so 377 square feet. So it does give an expansive amount of space and is well above, you know, the size you would ordinarily get on a cruise ship.
Oh gosh, yes, and you could go, of course, way beyond that if you want to.
Of course.
But to be honest with you, if you are taking your first Explora journey, entry level is just
why not try it?
It's the wrong description, isn't it?
For sure.
Because
it's entirely the wrong description.
it completely underplays what is the most
I can't
dramatically
tell you how
beautiful.
disappointed I am every time I walk into a hotel room now. Like, this is small.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the Caribbean then. Our final offer, journeying to the Caribbean harbours and legendary isles. Now, this is another one that you can really get your teeth into, actually. If you do like longer experiences, if you're thinking, I like this luxury thing, I need it to be longer. 17 nights in all, this one. Starts the day after my birthday, I'll keep hinting. 11th of November, we fly out to Miami first from the UK. We've got a night in a hotel in Miami, so maybe that's two things, actually, having your night in Miami. First of all, you know, you've just had the long flight. You get yourself back in order again. You get yourself with the time zone. You get to know that you are there in plenty of time. It just reduces the anxiety levels, doesn't it? Will I make it on time? I don't want to miss this for the world. And then you join Explora One for your 15-night journey. So this is another one that we can really get our teeth into.
And for me, the overnight there, it means that the day that you're embarking the ship, you're fresh, you're ready, you're excited, you want to explore.
Yeah.
You're not getting on and thinking, goodness, I can't wait to get to my suite. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm ready for bed.
To go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, you will just enjoy. And even if you feel like you're one of those people who finds it very, very difficult to stop, I think Explora Journeys is perfect for you, honestly. Because I'll be honest, when I first got on, I thought, actually, I'm not sure if this type of cruising will be right for me, my personality, my interests. Oh my word, how wrong I was.
Yeah.
You get very, very used to it very, very quickly. Let's talk dining, because we do need to focus in on culinary experiences, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, take it away, because there are so many different options and choices.
There are lots of different options and choices. So 6 restaurants altogether on board the ship, and that's actual restaurants. So we don't call them dining rooms, because they are restaurants. They have that lovely homely feel to them, where you feel like you are in a restaurant. You're never thinking, oh, I'm in a ship's dining room, because of the way the spaces are divided up. We have Fil Rouge, which is our French-inspired international cuisine. I would say possibly out of all the restaurants on board, that's the most decadent, but even then the dress code is still relaxed and informal. We just ask for long trousers on gentlemen, and for ladies, you know, dress as though you were dining out at a nice restaurant in the UK.
Is not much to ask. And you look at these beautiful dining spaces anyway, and you think, actually, you know what to wear.
Yeah, and listening to Jane speak before, and yourself, you mentioned you never feel rushed. It's not a case of the dining experiences, you're just eating. You're there and you have the whole experience. So there've been times in restaurants where I've been in nice company on board the ship, and I've spent 3-4 hours over dinner, which I know is excessive, but I can talk a lot. And I love that sense of relaxation whilst you're eating, and just having nice wine, nice food, and the wines that are included, you know, it can be up to 7 reds, 7 whites, a couple of rosé. That's included in the journey fare. Of course, we do have a menu as well if guests want something different, but it's not a case of one house red, one house white.
No.
So you're enjoying nice wines, nice foods. So Fil Rouge. Then we also have the Med Yacht Club, which is my favourite restaurant on board.
It's making my tummy rumble already.
My favourite restaurant on board, which is Mediterranean-inspired cuisine, so flavours from North Africa, Spain, Greece, Italy. Again, superb culinary experience, tapas, you know, main courses, entrees, whatever you want, and the wines to accompany them.
Let's pause there for a second, because there is more culinary experiences to talk about as well. We'll try and do that, but I'm very, very keen to get on this 15-night journey. And who wouldn't be?
Absolutely.
First couple of days at sea, amazing, absolutely amazing. And we are in St. John in the US Virgin Islands. So many amazing beaches here, lots of water adventures on offer for you. Speak to the Destination Experiences team, because the experience really is there as well, and there are lots of opportunities. Next, we head to Deschelles in Guadeloupe. Again, I've not seen this on any cruise itinerary ever before. There's a wonderful botanical garden here. You can discover the roots of dark chocolate at the cocoa cocoa house, which includes tasting. I was like, yes, I'm down for that, definitely. That's a destination experience. Next to Bridgetown in Barbados, lots to do here as well, enjoying the fresh seafood, the local delicacies at the seaside cafes and restaurants, the pastel pink sands. I mean, you can see from the picture there, it's just absolutely dreamy. Roseau is next in Dominica, and you can take an Indian riverboat trip here, row up the meandering mangrove-laden river, spotting the jungle birds, giant crabs, and the House of the Calypso.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
Yeah, it does. Sounds lovely. That is it, actually, the House of the Calypso that we were seeing there. Phillipsburg is next in St. Martin. You can relax on the beaches here, of course. Orient Bay, Mullet Bay is there for you, perfect for sunbathing, swimming, or enjoying just the crystal clear waters, or you can take a catamaran sailing there as well. San Juan is next in Puerto Rico. So colourful. This is where Bacardi comes from. Who knew? Well, we all know now. You can go to the distillery here as well, which is wonderful, or you can take a San Juan Bay sailing as well on a catamaran or a yacht. Oh my word.
And it's good to have someone in there as a port of call, because often it's embarkation or disembarkation, which unless you stay over, you don't really get to see the place. So
very true. Road Bay in Anguilla as well. Again, I hadn't seen this on itineraries before, just pure paradise. Next to St. John's in Antigua. You can plunge into the turquoise Caribbean, of course, for an unforgettable encounter with the stingrays here. They have a stingray city. You've got to get a picture in that phone box though, haven't you? Kind of got to be done, hasn't it? Have you got one?
Yeah,
of course you have. Gustavia in St. Bart's is next. Jet ski adventures here to Coco Island. You can skim over the ocean to some of the remotest beaches here on a destination experience adventure. And next we head into Road Town in Tortola, where you can go hiking in Sage Mountain in the national park there on a guided hike. Lush rainforest, scenic trails, breathtaking views, nicely looked after as well. I'm talking destination experiences on as many of the destinations as I can here, of course, because one of the extra value amazing opportunities right now, if you book this before the 28th of February, is actually receiving, as part of your Explora journey, up to €1,000 of destination experience credit prepaid, ready for you to use when you get on board, which is amazing. And you can reserve your journey today with a deposit of just 10% of the price. So let's just have a look at the overview of this, our fifth and final offer. Again, the last time you were with me in the studio, Jenny, which I know was a fair while ago, we had half an hour and it felt like 5 minutes. We've just had an hour.
I know.
And that feels like 7 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. Return flights from the UK, a night in a hotel in Miami just means that you are there and relaxed and ready for your 15-night Explora journey in your oceanfront suite, of course, which is just deliciously gorgeous with a wonderful big terrace and Wi-Fi included, and so many drinks included, responsibly one at a time, of course. You've got port shuttles when you need them. You've got up to €1,000 of destination experience credit for you included, and you can book it today with a low deposit of just 10%. I mean, there's no reason not to, really, is there?
Absolutely
No reason not to. Let's just talk very, very quickly. We've run out of time again, but there are so many more culinary experiences. We have all the details on our website as well, including Anthology as well, which is a very, very special dining experience. But we're going to have to talk about that next time, I'm afraid.
Which means I can come back.
Yes, absolutely. Please do, on our lovely new plush, comfy couches and everything. It's wonderful. It's a joy to see you as always.
Pleasure to be here.
Remember, I am always ready for the next Explora journey. So just,
I've remembered, don't worry.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, where it needs to go. Thank you to Jenny, as always. And listen, what I'll tell you is my personal experience of Explora journeys as well. I have been on board. I have been very much in the ocean state of mind. And that, for me, was about meeting the most fascinating people, being in the most convivial atmosphere, everything being at that very, very relaxed and accessible level as well. We say luxury all of the time, and sometimes that sounds elitist. It sounds like it's not really us. Explora Journeys is for everyone, let me tell you. So you should go and discover the world the best way you possibly can. Please do speak to our team, 0800 953 4701. They'll be there to help you through with our wonderful Cruise1st luxury collections. See you soon.